With quality brand name products at affordable wholesale prices, Cash and Carry is the perfect place to shop. Whether shopping for individual, business, churches, or more, Cash and Carry is sure to meet your needs. Cash and Carry of Cookeville, 931-528-8050.
It is that time of year again. Football is back. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the 2015 Watson Brown Show presented by IWC Cash and Carry. Alongside, now in his 9th season at the helm, head coach of the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles, Watson Brown. As you could probably tell by now, I am not Buddy Pearson. Dylan Vazano filling in for Buddy for this first show. Well, Coach, obviously another season is upon us. This has got to be what it's all about, right?
Oh, it's exciting watching that the start of the show there and seeing the guys, some of those shots of preseason practice and shots from last year. It just gets you excited and ready to play.
Well, you guys in a few days will be jetting off to Houston to play the University of Houston. We'll get into some of the challenges that the Cougars present later in the show, but getting this FBS game back, it seems year in and year out, this is always one of the exciting times of the season for coaches, players, and really everybody.
Kids love this. I don't know how many of these we've played. It's a bunch. I was asked on a Houston station this morning, well, how will our players be? And we've done so much of this, it doesn't faze us. I mean, when you've been to Oregon, Georgia, Auburn, TCU, Arkansas, all the different places we've been, it's just another nice place to go. And I'm not sure coaches love them the same way the players do, but it's exciting times. The money from these games means so much to our program, and we just like to get one. We haven't gotten one yet. It's hard to do. These teams are all good that we play. This is a very good team, and got to go play really well and see what happens.
Well, for the Golden Eagles to have success in the upcoming season, they're playing the University of Houston, and then beyond that game, let's take a look at the 3 keys to the season, and that's brought to you by Wendy's Breakfast of Cookeville. Well, Coach, first key, and one of the most important ones, you got to stay healthy.
Health has been, 9 years ago when I got in this league, I didn't really understand what health meant. In the FBS level, that extra 22 scholarships is a third team at every place. On this level, when you lose the first one and then the second one's a scholarship guy and the third guy's a walk-on guy, and a lot of times the second one just isn't what the first one is, makes a big difference. The greatest scenario I can possibly give is the year we won it in 2011, we had 2 players miss games. One of those was operated on after game 9. In the next year, with a lot of returning players, we had 38 players miss games and 24 surgeries. The difference in the injury was unbelievable. This team needs to stay healthy. A lot of young players behind some older players on our team. We need to keep those older players healthy.
Well, yeah, you talked about some of those younger players. That brings us to key number 2, and that's developing some of that youth.
Especially on defense. Defense is pretty much backed up by freshmen, redshirt freshmen, or sophomores all the way through. So we will start 3 offensive linemen that have never played a down at Tennessee Tech. We're going to take 30 guys on this trip that have never traveled with us out of 76 players. So it is a young team that I think can get better each week.
Well, and key number 3, And you guys really did a good job of this last year, especially in the games here in Cookeville, and that's win in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we lost 2 that would have maybe put us in the playoffs. We lost at Martin. We lost at TSU late in the fourth quarter on last drives, but we also won a lot of games late in the fourth quarter in Cookeville. We got to get back and be a better road team again. I think that hurt us last year. If we're going to get back to playoff contention and conference contention, we got to win some road games.
Well, now armed with those 3 keys, let's take a look at what is on tap for the 2015 Golden Eagles, presenting the schedule, and that is brought to you by Haibu. Coach, taking a look at the schedule coming up right now, and it seems to be this year another challenging one that will test you once again this season.
Oh, that's what we do. I think that we're trying to get now to the point where we're playing FCS opponents in non-conference that if we win can set us up for the playoffs. And so we've got 2 of those this year. We go to Wofford in game 2, and then we come home and play Mercer in game 3, and then the rest of the way it's our conference schedule. So preseason is huge. If you could win those 2 games, or if you could upset Houston, it just sets you up gives you a little leeway once you get into conference play.
When you look at conference play right now, you see 3 teams nationally ranked in the OVC. It seems year in and year out, this conference continues to progress.
My 2011 team wouldn't like me saying this. I think this team this year has more talent than the 2011 team. But I think when we won it in 2011, the league is so much better now than it was 3 years ago. And you've got to be better. Yes, 3 teams in the top 25 at this point. I know Jacksonville State's there. I know Eastern Kentucky is there, and who is the 3rd one right now? Would that be? I guess it would be EIU. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think the difference now is those 3 were good when I first got here. The difference now is top to bottom. Everybody has to play each week, and it's hard to go undefeated. Jacksonville State did it last year, but we just hadn't had that much in the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, you would think if the Golden Eagles are successfully able to navigate through that tough schedule the coach just talked about, this sophomore is going to have to play a big role in that. Coming off a tremendous freshman season, Livingston native Brock McCoy gets ready for his sophomore season. We had the chance to catch up with him. We present to you now the player profile brought to you by Zaxby's.
The first time I played football, I was probably in the backyard at home with my brother, getting smacked around a little bit. But the first time I actually played, probably when I was 6 years old, little guys. The most influential person in my life is definitely Bruce. Bruce Lamb's my uncle. He's been with me through thick and thin, just like my father. He's looked out for me for forever since I was a little boy, so definitely Bruce. My feeling about playing college football so close to home, I love it. I mean, I love being able to just go home on the drop of a dime. I've got everybody behind me, it's close. Probably some that ain't, but it's okay. My favorite moment as a Golden Eagle, I guess I'd have to say my first touchdown from Darian Stone. So, was I surprised by my success? I definitely was. I did not expect to accomplish what I did, and I figured I'd take a year to sit and watch and learn a little bit, but I got kind of thrown in there and did a few things, so it was all right. What I want to improve on the most from last year is really just a little bit of everything. I'd really like to improve my physical attributes and get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, and weigh a little bit more. One goal that I personally would like to accomplish would just be to help the team out the best way I can to my ability. When I'm finished with my career, hopefully I'm remembered as a dedicated Tennessee Tech Golden Eagle, someone that worked hard every time he was on the field, was a little bit enthusiastic and just loved to be out there. The player that I look up to the most, if I could look up to him, would be Little Van Leer, but I can't really look up to him.
Well, I guess aside from being in a great town, he's a funny guy as well, Brock McCoy.
Oh, he's got a dry wit that everybody waits on at some point. But he was a great player for us last year as a freshman, a redshirt freshman. I think he got thrown to the fire when we lost all of our tight ends, and we stopped the QW position and went back to having one quarterback. Darian went back to quarterback, so he had to pop up and be the W. And he had to start playing at Murray 100% and a little bit at Northern Iowa, and then just took off. And I mean, so really all of his stats were in about 8 games, not in a 12-game schedule.
And now correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you have the chance or nearly have the chance to actually coach Brock's dad while you were at Cincinnati?
Well, I recruited Brock's dad to Cincinnati. I was recruiting him at Vanderbilt, then I left to be the head coach at UC and brought Danny up there, and then I left and went to Rice, so he still holds that against me 100%. But Danny still holds a lot of the passing records at UC right now, and Brock will, I think before he leaves here, if Brock stays healthy, will have a lot of the receiving records at Tennessee Tech. He'll push Tim Benford in number of catches and yards and that type of thing.
Okay, well, here on the Watson Brown Show this year, a lot of excitement. We've got a ton of new and fun segments, so we're going to take a break, but stay with us. We'll be debuting those segments when we return right here on the Watson Brown Show. Back here on the Watson Brown Show, and like we discussed before the break, we've got a lot of new fun and exciting segments. This one in particular, Coach. Now, I know over the years, I'm sure you've seen your players tackle, you've seen them make catches, throw the football, but this year, you're going to get to see them make some pottery, play the drums, even milk a cow. This first one, though, we take senior linebacker Jay Rudwall. We take the pads off him, we stick him in a fireman's suit, and he learns what it's like to be a firefighter for a day. Presenting for the first time out of their element, and that's brought to you by the OVC Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Jay Rudwall. I play linebacker for Tennessee Tech, and today I'm going to learn how to be a firefighter.
What's going on, man? My name's Gage.
Gage, nice to meet you. I'm Jay Rudwall.
All righty, man. You ready?
Yeah.
All righty. We'll start out by letting you put the gear on, and then we'll let you climb the ladder, and then we'll let you go back here in the back. We've got it fogged out, and you can crawl through.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right, let's get started. So that over your head.
It's like this.
And throw it all the way back. Yeah.
I'm already sweating. This is going to be hot.
Just throw it right over your head, and just let your arms come right into the loops there. Okay? You're suited up, ready to go. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over here to this door, and we've got it smoked up back there. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a simple search and rescue. You're going to get on your hands and knees, and you're going to go through the door, and then you're going to stay either the right or left side, whichever one you want. But you're going to crawl back through there. There's bedrooms back there, and we've got bedrooms back there. You're going to crawl in, you're going to search the whole room, and then when you find the victim, you're going to turn around and come back out.
Okay. Got it.
All right, let's do it.
No victim. See Brooks? Barely. Something hanging from the door. Okay. I have what I believe is the victim, baby. So now, I'm gonna carry the victim out. We're gonna get up. We're gonna move. Fit 3 rooms so far. This is the 4th room, so I'll have 3 passes. I believe you, it's a different room now completely. And I can't, there it is, I see it when you found the door.
There you go, Jay. All right, Jay, you did a good job crawling through the smoke. Now we're going to see if you can climb the ladder. All righty?
My goodness. Ready to go? Whew. Yeah. Hey, is that the best view in Cookeville? Right there. Gage, I really appreciate it.
Man, no problem at all, man. We enjoyed it.
That was great. I can't tell you, that was so hard. And I had a respect for you guys before I came in here, but I just have so much more respect now than I did before. But I can't thank you guys enough.
No problem, man. We appreciate it. Anytime pass by, just come on in and say, hey, man.
That sounds great, yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much.
No problem, buddy.
Well, Coach, I know your heart had to have been racing when you saw him climbing up that ladder.
I've only been in one press box in my life. I've always coached on the boundary. One reason is I'm scared of heights. I just about passed out watching him climb the ladder, and I would have got lost in there. And
Oh, yeah.
no way I would have gotten out. That was really neat. Jay did a good job,
Yeah.
but it does show you what those guys really do. I mean, don't ask me to do that, Rob. I'm not going there.
All right, well, that's kind of what we're going to have in store for Out of Their Element. Shifting gears now to a new segment right here on the Watson Brown Show. Of course, everything, we give you football, up and down, everything TTU football. But this year, we're going to cue you in on some of the other Tennessee Tech athletic teams. So for the first time, presenting the Golden Eagle Update, brought to you by TTUsports.com. Well, big news out of Golden Eagle soccer. We'll get to that in just a moment. First, for the Tennessee Tech volleyball team, they went down to the Wright State Invitational this past weekend, and although we're winless, definitely some high hopes surrounding the program this year. They are picked preseason number 5 in the 12-team conference, headlined by senior Cody Dodge. She is a preseason All-OVC player. Also had the chance to play Team USA this summer, so she continues to add to her robust resume. Tennessee Tech football, of course, they get the season going this weekend. They're not the only Golden Eagle teams, though, to kick off the year. On Saturday, both the Tennessee Tech men's and women's cross-country teams, they head to the great state of Indiana. Well, they will take part in the Indiana Invitational. That's in Bloomington. On Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, it'll be the Golden Eagle men's and women's golf teams. They will head down to Myrtle Beach. All right, back to soccer. Big news Sunday evening. History for the program in front of the largest crowd at Tech soccer field history. It was the first ever time that they welcomed in an SEC opponent. In came the University of Alabama. And wouldn't you know, the Golden Eagles came away with a 2-1 victory. It was the first time ever that they were able to take out one of the opponents from the daunting SEC. And in the contest, the sophomore Mary Frances Hoots scored in the 17th minute, gave Tech a 1-0 lead. Back came Alabama early second half, before in the 63rd minute, senior Taylor Sutton found the back of the net, gave Tech a 2-1 lead, and then the defense took it from there. Coach, I know that doesn't matter what sport it is, anytime you find a way to take out an SEC team, especially like a name like Alabama, pretty special.
Yeah, that was a neat win for them. Maybe we can pull that off one of these days.
Absolutely. Well, once again, we got ourselves a new segment. We'll just keep rolling them through here. College football players and coaches can be under some scrutiny at times, especially from members of the media. They get those hard-hitting questions before and after the game. Well, this segment, they're going to get some even tougher questions. Some of these Golden Eagle players and coaches. First up, we have Luke Woodison, who traveled to Jerry Whitson Elementary School, where he was met by little Jesus. And we'll see what the two of them talked about. Some of those tough questions. Presenting for the first time, it is Kids Corner, brought to you by Pepsi.
Who is the best player on your team?
The best player on our team, I would probably say it has to be Jimmy Laughlin. He's my roommate, so I think he's the best player, obviously. And I gave him my football number, so he better be the best player.
How do you throw a football so high?
Me personally, I can't really throw that well because of my shoulders, but from the movie Sandlot, have you ever thrown a paper route? If you just throw it and release it right here, it usually goes really far.
Does it hurt when a lot of players tackle you at once?
Yes. So if you're ever running the ball like Brock and a lot of people tackle you, it really hurts, wouldn't you think?
Do you think I can play football for Tennessee Tech someday?
Oh, without a doubt. Do you like playing sports?
Mm-hmm.
Are you fast?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fast? Do you have great work ethic?
I don't know.
Well, then you're going to go far.
Who taught you how to play football?
I would probably say my father. He taught me how to play. He played back in the day.
Have you ever played in the Super Bowl?
Have I ever played in the Super Bowl? No, I haven't. Have you ever played in the Super Bowl before? You want to? Okay. Jesus, what grade are you in?
Third.
Third grade. Do you play any sports?
Mm-hmm.
What sports do you play?
Soccer.
You play soccer. Who's your favorite soccer player?
Messi?
Messi, that's a great one. Great one. What is your favorite food?
Rice.
Rice? No way. That's awesome.
Well, Coach, with some of the questions like that, I might be out of a job soon.
Could very well be. Could very well be. No, that's neat. I'm looking forward to this segment because I heard about some of the different things. I did one myself, so these kids are fantastic. It's neat.
Okay, well, lots more to come on the Watson Brown Show. We'll debut another new segment. We'll also talk about the upcoming opponent in the University of Houston. Don't go anywhere, right here on the Watson Brown Show.
In the NCAA Division I Football Championship Subdivision, the game is played with perseverance, integrity, passion, character, and sportsmanship as he works to honor the game and respect his teammates, opponents, officials, and fans. Every FCS player grows in his responsibilities as a student athlete and as a member of his campus and community. The NCAA Division I Football Championship Subdivision. Every down, every day.
Back here on the Watson Brown Show, we've got another new segment in store for you. Of course, a big season coming up for the Tennessee Tech football team, but it's also a very special year for Tennessee Tech University. 2015, that marks the 100-year anniversary of the school, founded back in 1915. So this is the centennial, and as it becomes a year-long celebration, we're going to do our part on the Watson Brown Show and give you some of the best moments over the last century in Tennessee Tech football. This first one, big day for a return man back in the early 70s. Let's check out, for the first time, Centennial Moments, and that is brought to you by the Tennessee Tech Centennial.
Dickie Fulton was already wearing an Ohio Valley Conference championship ring on his finger for his role in Tennessee Tech's commanding performance in claiming the 1972 league championship and advancing to the Grantland Rice Bowl. The senior from Newark, Delaware had every reason to believe the Golden Eagles would repeat that success in 1973 under coach Don Wade. But the new season wasn't starting the way Fulton and his teammates had expected. Following a tie in the opening game, Tech dropped 2 games before recording its first win with a 16-9 decision over UT Martin. Fulton was determined to use that victory to ignite a winning streak, and he backed it up when he took the field in Week 5 against East Tennessee State in an OVC contest in Tucker Stadium, in which he set 2 school records. He watched as the Buccaneers took a 7-0 lead late in the first quarter. That's when he grabbed a kickoff 3 yards deep in the end zone, broke a couple of early tackles, and streaked down the left sideline 103 yards for a touchdown to tie the game. It was the longest kickoff return in school and OVC history, records that will never be broken since college football rules officially listed as a 100-yard return, a number that can't be topped.
Later in the contest, Fulton had 29-yard and 43-yard kickoff returns, setting another school record with 172 yards in kick returns, a mark eventually broken some 22 years later.
Well, a pretty good day at the office for Mr. Dickie Fulton, wouldn't you say?
Really good, and that's a neat section for us because this year we've got a returner that can do some of those same kind of things. So we'd love to see history repeat itself this year. But I remember Dickie, remember the name when I was playing myself, and very good player here at Tennessee Tech.
Well, and like we talked about, this being 2015, the centennial, it seems like this can be a special year for Tennessee Tech.
Boy, you'd love for it to be. And there's a great history, a great tradition of football at Tennessee Tech. I grew up during those 4 championships in a row that I don't think will ever be accomplished again by any school in the OVC. And it's just we're trying to get ourselves back up in that. We won that first championship after 36 years. We don't want to wait another 36 to win another one, and we think we're close again. We'll see.
Well, that road begins this Saturday night. Tennessee Tech will travel to the University of Houston. Let's preview that upcoming matchup as we present this week's opponent, and that is brought to you by Miller Lite. Coach, traveling to the University of Houston now, they've got themselves a brand new head coach, Tom Herman, who was most recently the offensive coordinator as well as the quarterbacks coach at the defending national champion, Ohio State University.
Yeah, new staff makes it hard for us. We have to watch double tape. We have to watch the Houston players play. Then we have to turn around and watch Ohio State on offense and Utah State on defense. So it makes it really hard for us to do that double time through the summer. Tom was on my brother's staff as a graduate assistant at Texas back in the years before, and he's done a great job. He's been a really good coach. He deserves this opportunity. I think he'll do a really good job at Houston.
And it seems like going into this game, that as we take a look at some of the highlights here for Houston, that offensively should be their bread and butter for the Cougars.
Well, their defense is what they're really talking about right now. They've had 73 turnovers in the last 2 years. I think they're right at the tops in the nation in turnovers. And the guy that came from Utah State tied them this year, I think, for the number of turnovers in a season at the defensive coordinator. So it's a lot of defensive players back. They've got a quarterback back named Ward that is just really quick and makes a lot of plays for them. 2 tandem running backs that are very hard to stop. This is a really good team. Mark does this. I mean, he'll wait till somebody gets really good, puts them on the schedule, and I think they're going to be a really good team this year.
Well, that's going to do it for this first Watson Brown show. Obviously, there seems to be a lot of excitement heading into another year, and Coach, good luck on Saturday.
We're going to need luck. Give me that all year long, will you? We'll take it.
Okay, well, Tennessee Tech, they will square off with the Cougars this Saturday. That will be a 7 p.m. kickoff. You can watch that game on ESPN3. You can also listen to it on 98.5 KISS FM. And as always, you can read about it the next day in the Cookeville Herald-Citizen. Well, for Tennessee Tech head coach Watson Brown, Buddy will be back next week. This is Dylan Vazano saying farewell. We're off to Houston.
The Watson Brown Show has been brought to you by IWC Cash and Carry, Zaxby's, Wendy's Breakfast of Cookeville, Miller Lite, Hibu, and Pepsi.
With quality brand name products at affordable wholesale prices, Cash and Carry is the perfect place to shop. Whether shopping for individual, business, churches, or more, Cash and Carry is sure to meet your needs. Cash and Carry of Cookeville, 931-528-8050.